Satellite Live. Satellite Live. Satellite Live.
All right.
Yeah, just roll the titles again.
Satellite Live. Satellite Live. Satellite Live.
Right, let's try that again, shall we? Welcome to season 3 of Satellites Live with me, Martin Saunders. I'm the youth worker at St Mary's Reigate, and down here,
It's me, Charles, the children's worker here at St Mary's Reigate.
and oh no, I can never do it.
Come on.
Always
Three
go the wrong
seasons
way.
in. 3 seasons in, Martin.
Let's try that again. Over here,
Hey. Yes,
It's-
I'm Hannah.
it's brand new co-host Hannah.
Hey.
Say something about yourself.
I go to St Mary's.
Go. Right. Well, we'd like to apologise for that brilliant false start. We're going to have another go at this. Unless anybody in the church wants to start a meeting, then we are ready to get going with season 3. Finally.
Yeah, third time lucky.
Of Satellites Live.
Yay.
Gosh, right. I think we were saying hello to you, Hannah.
Yeah.
So hello, welcome to the team. Tell us something interesting about yourself now.
That is the most stressful question ever. I like chocolate. I like fairy lights. I go to St Mary's. I know a lot of you. You're gorgeous. This is great. Hello.
Perfect. That's absolutely brilliant. Well, welcome to the team, Hannah. Gosh, we're all just going to take a little breath now. Thanks for staying with us. If you've stuck by us, I promise there'll be a Kahoot in a minute. This is another season of Satellites Live. We weren't expecting this, obviously. We weren't. We were hoping to be in person by now. I hope you've been watching the news because it feels like there's a little mood of optimism and some good things, some good news ahead. But just for this next little while, we're still going to be socially distanced and meeting online in places like this. So we thought, why not do one last hurrah? Get the band back together. Get a new bass guitarist, or I don't know where that came from, Hannah. Sorry, lead singer. There we go, lead singer, and we're having another go. So loads to get through this season, which is very American, isn't it? This series, we are looking at what it's going to mean for us to emerge well from a time of pandemic. So we're going to see what lessons we've learned from being in lockdown. And we're going to do that with some little kind of short videos that we filmed, much shorter than last season's alpha ones. And there's going to be lots of opportunities for you to respond, give your answers, chip in, say what you think, as Charles and I, particularly in those videos, discuss what it means to emerge from lockdown. But we're not there yet. So we're going to start, as we always do on Satellites Live, with the notices. And we'll start with you, Hannah.
Yeah, I just want to say Burnt Breakfast is back on a Sunday morning. So if you used to come to that, if you didn't used to come to that, it's gorgeous. It's us on a Zoom call eating our breakfast. It's chill and we have some sharing time and we give prayer requests. It's very relaxed. It's very lovely. If you want to come to that, just sign up on Church Suite and then you'll get an email and then you can join us. It's a nice way to spend a Sunday. And then straight after that finishes, the church service starts. So you can do one and then the other church service on YouTube if you go and have a look.
Mm-hmm. And it's you again.
Oh, it's me again. I don't know what I'm saying.
Well, she's already kind of advertised.
Oh, she's done that one as well. Okay,
Yeah,
great.
church service.
Charles.
That was a great notice. Well done, Hannah. Welcome. Well, have you had some time on your hands during this lockdown? Have you been like, school starts in 12 days, but I'm really bored and I'd love to do something right now. Well, why don't you read We Are Satellites by Martin Saunders? Hannah's got one. Martin, do you have a copy of your own book?
I don't, but I'm at the centre. We'll talk about that later, but I'm at the church centre, so I have it.
But we have got this book and it is very good. It is very, very good. And it will be really useful for you to understand the heart and the vision behind what we do here at Satellites. So really recommend you purchase this book. It is so good. Promise you. That's not even a shameless plug, as someone's put it. It's not a shameless plug. There is no shame because it is a great book. Also, WhatsApp groups and Instagram. So WhatsApp groups, if you would like to join our WhatsApp group, then please get your parent to email Martin, who will then add you to the group where you can chat along during Satellites Live and make us laugh. And Instagram, we are on Instagram and we are St. Mary's _satellites. And every so often we like to post something. And we will post stuff. We'll probably post stuff this week just to get the content going again and the interaction. But we love having you on the Instagram and it's a good place for you to find out what's going on.
Okay, thanks, Charles. And I've got a very important notice, so I don't know how to make it. I don't know how to add importance or gravitas. How do I bold and underline this notice? I'm going to come much closer to the camera.
Yes. No.
Does
No,
that
don't do
add
that.
gravitas?
No, back. Just
Oh,
back.
further back.
quite a
Further
lot.
back.
I want them to listen to me.
If you went behind the glass screen behind you, that would add gravitas.
All right. Just this is an important notice. I think I've made the point. We think it's one of the most healthy things that you can do in this time of right. Okay, obviously I used too much gravitas. And YouTube felt my notice was too serious and I'd underlined it too much. This is excellent. We think, just in case you're starting to get a little bit infuriated, good, it's heavens. Let's hope you're not trying us for the first time this evening. But we think we fixed the problem, so it shouldn't happen again. We think. So we'll see. Anyway, the notice was this. We think one of the most important things that you can do in this time is invest in your relationship with God. And obviously that's a really easy thing to say, really hard thing to do in practice. So we've created a resource that you can use every single day that will help you to do that. And it's called Orbit. You may have come across it, heard about it already. I want to really encourage you to give it 5 minutes of your day tonight or first thing tomorrow. It is, you can read it on the St. Mary's website. There's a little icon. There's a little icon at the St. Mary's website that you can click that says Orbit, or you can find it on Spotify. And it's right there. If you go to Spotify and you search for Orbit Reigate, it'll pop up. You'll see the Satellites logo and you can listen. And it's a 5-minute little Bible passage, little prayer. Basically, you just sit there and just listen along and join in. It's dead easy and it's for you. And they come out every single weekday. So why don't you give it a try? Let us know what you think of it. It's called Orbit and you can find it on Spotify or the St. Mary's website. Thank you. I think we're still here. Shall we have a Kahoot?
Please.
Yeah.
Right. Thanks for staying with us, everybody. You are invited to use highly comic nicknames on the Kahoot this week, making fun of our technical abilities. But we're going to give you the number, the code to join in just a moment, and then you'll be able to join. 01788, and let's see who's going to join us.
Oh, I'm excited for more names. I'm excited for new names. I'm excited for topical
Any names?
Any names would be good. I was just trying to fill the space whilst people were joining. Here they are.
What names?
Oh.
Okay.
Here they are.
Oh, Diva Martin. What's that?
Oh, I might have said that. I might put on a group chat that you had demanded that we had breaks every 5 minutes. Hence the hence why we got something off. Yeah.
Oh, this is fun. Good. Well, they're still joining. That's great. I think we have producer Ollie on the line. Are you there, producer Ollie?
Hello, I am there.
Oh,
Please believe
sounds-
me, none of these issues were my fault.
No, they actually weren't. That is a really good point. That the issues were external, and we have sorted them out.
We have
Ollie,
sorted
you've done an amazing job.
Thank you. No, I wasn't saying that. I was just being like. Anyway, we have some great names here, so this is very exciting. I'm excited to be back.
Any particular names, Ollie?
I love Big Fat Pig Pig Pig.
Big fan, big is by far my favourite name. So
I
that
like
is
well
exciting.
done. That's cute.
Well
Whoever
done
said
is
well
great.
done is adorable.
That is.
I've just noticed Porkolt's back.
Oh, nice.
Porkalot is back. I'm
No,
very excited.
Ollie, not Porkalot. Porkolt.
It looks like it, you know.
It
But
does.
just, you know, Martin's nostril. Martin's nostril is here. That is
That's
exciting.
the real reason we
All
got
right.
kicked off YouTube. Your nostril. was-
Yeah, that is true. You did get a bit close to the camera there. You know,
All right, fair enough.
So
Well, I'm encouraged by how many people have stuck with us through 2 complete breakdowns. So thank you.
Yeah.
Let's kick off the quiz this evening. We've got a quiz about complicated and complex things, but don't worry, it's more fun than I've just made it sound. Our theme this evening is all going to be around slowing down and embracing the simple things in life. So we thought it might be quite fun if we started off with a quiz about complicated things. It's a bit tenuous, but here we go. So hopefully you're all joined in, and here is the first question. What is the more common name of Edson Arantes do Nascimento? Is it Neymar, Pele, Julius Caesar, or Jesus?
well, that's complicated. That is.
It's a complicated name, isn't it? That's the point.
Yes. Yeah, I have no idea.
Hannah, have you got any thoughts?
I don't. Have you made up those words? Like,
No,
are
no.
they? Okay, I
Don't
think
do
it's.
You would have been embarrassed then if that was Jesus. And 2 people thought it was Jesus, but no, 16 people got it right. It's Pele.
Wow.
What's that done to our early leaderboard, Ollie?
Wow. Well, I can say that Charles's fan 1 is in the lead. So that's very exciting for you, Charles. And Martin's
is.
nostril is in second. So that is phenomenal. Mini Begsy is in third, Biggles in fourth, and we are very excited is in fifth.
Do you think that first person typed the words in the wrong order?
Charles fan 1.
Charles is one fan.
Charles is one fan.
Shall we move on?
Yes, let's do it.
Quickly.
Question number 2. Where is this? This is a picture of the world's most complicated roundabout. But where is it? Is it in Paris, New York, Monaco, or Swindon?
That is giving me anxiety looking
Yeah,
at that.
that's. I would not want to do that. I'll be honest.
I panicked the other day because I forgot which way. Which way? I probably shouldn't say this on the live stream.
No.
Which way should you give way to when you get to a roundabout? Is it the right?
No. Wait.
No,
No, it's the left.
You give way to the right, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
What
do.
do you
give-
mean?
Anyway,
Yeah. It's what? Sorry.
No, it's you have right of way over the right.
that fooled a lot of people. It is in Swindon.
Wow.
It's called the Magic Roundabout in Swindon. What's that done to the scores?
Wow. Well,
Oh.
Charles's only fan is in first place.
Well, that's not
and
what. That's not what they've called themselves.
But Mini Begsy is now in second. Biggles in third. No one noticed. I like that. That's good.
That's
And
what?
and
That we
Roadmap-
went off air.
No, Martin.
No one
Oh, I see.
noticed. You're ruining it.
Oh,
And
I see.
Roadmap is in fifth, which was
Well, it's a yeah. And that's
ironic
ironic
that they got that
wrong.
question right. Yeah.
Right. Let's see if we can knock Charles's one fan off the top. Right. What does this device do? So this is an actual scientific device, been called the world's most complicated invention. Does it smash atoms? Does it attempt to reverse time? Does it look far into space, or does it cook the perfect boiled egg?
To be fair, I do need one of those devices to cook the perfect boiled egg. Because if you get it wrong, then it's not runny and you can't dip your soldiers in. And there's nothing worse than an egg that you can't dip your soldiers in.
Well, there is. There's an egg that you dip your soldiers in the whites as well.
So the good thing is, quite a few people knew while he was just blathering on about nonsense what the answer was. Hannah, you're quite clever. Do you know what that machine was?
It is. Yeah,
No?
I do. Particle accelerator in sweet somewhere in Europe.
Yes. Do you know what it's called? It's called the Large Hadron Collider.
Hadron Collider. I said it first. There we go. Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Right. So what's that done to the scores?
Let's have a look. Oh no!
Oh,
Oh no! Well, reconnecting is the highest climber, so that is exciting. But Biggles is now in first place, Roadmap in second, Well Done in third, and Emmy in fourth. So, no.
Very good.
No.
Who's next? What's next?
What's next? You tell me. Us.
Question number 4. What is widely regarded, this is in a survey, as the world's most difficult recipe for amateur chefs to master? So they surveyed 20,000 cooks, I think, and they asked them, what's the most difficult recipe? Did they say guacamole, pancakes, poached eggs, or ramen? Ramen?
Ramen.
Right.
Ramen. Raymond.
Yeah.
Sorry.
How would you say prezzo?
Prezzo?
Yeah, apparently it's meant to sound like how you say pizza. I don't really understand it, but it confused me.
Prezzo.
Prezzo. But I,
Ooh, one person got that right.
Oh my gosh. I want to know who that one person is. I'm excited.
Wow.
Eddie
Yeah, it's
Charles.
pancakes. Apparently, pancakes is the hardest recipe to get right. Isn't that interesting?
Wow.
you've got to make sure that you haven't got the
I feel like that's wrong. But,
I'm only telling you what the survey said.
okay. Well,
What boffins have shown.
our survey.
Well, we can't tell. Wait, maybe it was. Oh. No, we don't know.
You can't work it out.
We don't know. Tell us if you were the
If you
only
got that
person.
right, put it on the chat.
Poor Colt's got it right.
Yes, pork a lot. Well done. I'm happy. So, well done to you.
We get letters every time you say that word.
Oh, is that like... Okay.
Let's move on to the next question. Question number 5. What is the hardest spell in Harry Potter? I feel like I'm definitely going to get emails about this, right? Apparently, one of these is definitively the hardest spell for wizards to undertake in the world of Harry Potter. Is it the Horcrux creating spell, a flight spell, Patronus, or Animagus? I've never read a Harry Potter book.
What? Sorry, what?
I feel like Hannah, just a heads up, don't nod when you think you've got the right answer.
No.
I know that you knew. I didn't want people to kind of, but I mean, you got it
If they're
wrong.
judging it off me, they've already made a bad decision. So it's
Yeah, well, it was true because they got it wrong.
All right, so Charles,
If you
Charles,
trusted
are
me.
you a Harry Potter person?
Yes.
Is this would you agree with this answer?
I
Sure.
disagree.
I don't really understand what, as in to make yourself fly.
Yeah, to make yourself fly, not
I
on
mean,
a
yes, sure. That feels like something that would be in a book somewhere that I have. Yeah. Sure.
Apparently, the internet said that's the hardest spell in Harry Potter. What am I supposed to do? 4 of you got that right. I can feel the angry messages coming my way.
Yeah, there's
Well,
already one coming.
Yeah, well, Minnie Begsy is the only person... Well, 4 people moved. But Minnie the Begsy is the only one to move on the leaderboard, and she's now in first. So well done.
Right. So let's. Lily the Great is the highest climber as well. Well done, Lily. Right. Question number 6. What is the most commonly misspelled word in the English language? Which of these words is the one that, according to the Oxford English Dictionary, gets spelled wrong the most often? Is it publicly, pharaoh, definitely, or government? I have to ask a question. Is pharaoh even in the English language?
I don't know. But can we talk about the fact that Ollie Brown messaged me the other day and said, "Since when did February have an R in?" And
It's
consider
never-
the fact that his
no.
birthday is in February.
February has just
Yeah.
grown another R. It was never had 2 R's in, ever. In the all 20 years that I've been alive. So, outrageous.
Anyway, the answers are in, and the correct answer was publicly. So that surprised me, but publicly is the one that people most often get wrong.
I was convinced it's Ollie,
A.
but yeah.
I'm not even sure I've spelt it correctly.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's see. Let's move it off the screen quickly. What's happened to the scores?
Well, Manny has moved into 4th, and we are very excited as the highest climber, up eight places.
Can I just say we've got a double pointer still to come. So looking at how low the scoring is this
Scores
week,
are-
anyone could win.
Yeah.
Isn't that exciting? Right, let's do the penultimate question. What do scientists regard as the most complex object in the known universe? Is it the sun, the atom, Charles Merritt, or the human brain?
I've always thought of Charles as a very complex conundrum.
He
I
is
look at you across
complex.
the room and I think, he's complex.
True. It is one of my greatest flaws, weaknesses, and strengths. And that's because
Wow.
I'm complex.
Complex sentence.
Even that was complicated, wasn't it? Anyway, let's see what people have gone for.
I've got the word for strength, so I've panicked.
People got that one. It is the human brain. 21 people got that right. So that might have upped the scores, Ollie.
Let's have a look. I'm excited. It hasn't. But Emmy is now in 5th place, so well done. And poor Colt is it's the highest climber.
Well done.
Thank
Well
you.
done.
So, yeah.
So look at this. These scores really are quite close.
Yeah.
Anybody could be on the podium. So fingers on the buttons, because the faster you answer this final question, the more points you get.
Yeah.
Let's go to the final question. Double points. Oof. What is, according to surveys of secondary pupils, the hardest school subject? What do most students say is the hardest school subject? Is it physics, maths, modern languages, or history? Wow, what do you think, guys?
I want to say maths, but I think Becky Beggs might kill me. So physics
She won't kill you.
might tutor me.
She's never done that.
I would say modern languages.
Well, let's
I
see.
can't remember anything.
And the answer is modern languages, and 14 people got that right, which means we really could have anyone on the podium. It's very exciting. Ollie, take it away.
Let's have a look. So this week's 3rd place position goes to Joe.
Oh,
Wow.
Well done,
In
Mr.
2nd
Joe.
place was Emmy. Wow.
Yeah.
well done. Who's
And
won?
in 1st place was Mini Begsy. Well done.
Hey, well done,
Congratulations.
Mini
In 4th was
Begsy.
Big Fat Pig. And in 5th was Well Done. So well done to you guys.
Oh, well done, everyone. I'm so pleased that Big Fat Pig got a mention at the end, because that really was that deserved so many more mentions. Well done. Well done. Thank you for persevering. I'm glad that all worked. Charles, why don't you take us into our new season of slowing down and embracing simplicity?
Yes. Let us slow down and embrace simplicity as we take you through these things. As Martin said, we have pre-recorded these, and we're excited to show them to you. It's just ramblings of our thoughts on these sort of subjects. So here are our lessons from lockdown. He told me not to say that. Told me not to say that.
Do you remember the time before COVID, Martin?
I do.
Yeah. How busy was your lifestyle before COVID?
Ridiculously busy. I think about it now, and I think I used to spend my weekends were just rushing from one thing to the next. And actually, every night of the week, I don't know about you, every night of the week I had things on. Always had things on, not just one thing, like various things on. And then I had job, and I had traveling to and from a job, and there's all the stuff with the kids, trying to fit in friendships, trying to be married, all of that stuff.
Well, you are married.
I succeeded.
Yeah.
But
trying to remain married.
trying to remain married. How about you? How was life
yeah,
before?
I think so. I think my life before COVID was full of distractions and procrastinations.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was just full of stuff. I was just constantly like, I can do this, so I'm going to do it, and just fill up my time because I've got time. So that I remember days off, I'd be like, right, it's my day off. I'm just going to fill it with a load of stuff.
Yeah, how many things can I fit into the time?
Yeah. How many people can I see? How many places can I go in one day?
Yeah.
before I collapsed.
Did you ever find yourself walking at like comedy speed to get from places? You know, that sense of like not quite being able to fit everything in to a day. So you start walking faster than you're meant to.
I did the classic sort of every so often I would do like a little jog and then I'd slow down when there were no cars so it didn't look weird. So it looked like to a car going past when I was jogging, it was like, oh, he's off for a jog.
Yeah.
But as soon as they went, I was like, oh, just back to walk.
Just do that little jog again.
Well, it's difficult because we've got
No,
to
I'm
stay
enjoying it.
2 meters apart, so I can't, jog around the room as much as I'd like to. Or maybe I could. Anyway,
The first question that we want you to discuss at home tonight is how busy was your lifestyle before COVID?
So that was the question. How busy was your life before COVID? Can you remember before COVID? I don't know whether you can. I can't really. But how busy was your life before COVID? Let's throw it over to our new host, Hannah. Hannah, how busy was your life before COVID?
Busy. I feel like I have a habit of, even if it's not busy, filling stuff so it's busy, or getting busy doing nothing. That's an Ollie Murs song. Anyway, busy. Busy. You told me to speak my thoughts. This is why I shouldn't speak my thoughts.
No, that's premium content. Carry on, Hannah.
Right.
I don't know that. That
Is it
Ollie
song?
Murs song.
Is
Yeah,
it
no,
song?
it's excuse. We've got some people in the comments chatting away. I shall read some out. I had sport 2 hours a day. That is literally my nightmare.
2 hours.
The idea of doing sport 2 hours a day just kills me. But good on you. But busy. That's busy because that's on top of school as well. Obviously, like, that's not just stuff. Okay. Incredibly busy. More people are commenting, but they're not. I can see people typing, but I can't see comments coming.
Gosh, that's exciting, isn't it?
It is exciting.
Have we got? I believe we have another way of people communicating. So it's called poll.ev, and it is a sort of. We used it last season. It's like an anonymous comment feature. So you can type in your thoughts, and we can see them, but we can't see who you are. So if you want to ever send us an anonymous thought, you can do that by sending it to poll.ev / what is it, Ollie?
Satellites Live.
Satellites Live. There we go. So poll.ev / satellites live. So yeah, have we got any more comments, Charles?
Yes. Someone just said, I believe I'm still fitting in everything once, but it's turned into coursework, so not necessarily any less busy. Someone else has said, I did 7 hours of dance a week, rugby, always doing at least one show, studying a lot, cooking clubs, running drama club, DOV. That's a busy lifestyle there. Someone just put, I just enjoy doing things, which is so true. I mean, that's very different, isn't it? Oh yes, sorry, Ben. I would wake up, get dressed, have breakfast, do my teeth, go to school, do school, come home, game for an hour or so, eat, go to sleep, repeat. I would wake up, get dressed, I don't know whether I need to repeat or whether I imagine that's what happened. So yeah, just a sort of routine, and it's just busyness over and over again. Great. Well, let's then. So we've looked. I'm about to say the exact sentence that I was coming out of my mouth in a second. We've looked at what life was like before COVID. Now let's think about what life is like after COVID.
We've talked about life before COVID, and then COVID hit, and it was like a bomb had exploded in our lives. And instead of like exploding, it was like an imploding. It was like things became silent. The roads were quiet. You know, the birds were flying up above. There was less planes and noise and pollution and stuff. And it was just, it was weird, right? And suddenly we had time.
Yeah, that weird. Do you remember that bit where we could go out for like 1 hour of exercise, and that was it? It was really strict. Everyone observed that, and you went out. There was no one anywhere, and it felt like the world had slowed down to a standstill. And we've had different periods of that over the last year.
Yeah. And did you ever walk on the road, like in the
just to be
middle
a
of the
rebel?
road, and just be like, "Come at me, cars," There's like, because there was no traffic, and
Just to be clear,
Don't do that.
We don't think you should do that.
don't do that. But it was like a zombie apocalypse. Like there was just nothing. It was just gone. And suddenly we found ourselves with a load of time, and it was like, well, what do I do with this time, and how do I deal with this? And just finding that space to breathe. There was less travel time. Like instead of like even okay, we have Zoom calls and we have meetings in schools now, but like when schools are online, you don't have to travel to school. You don't have to walk your half-hour commute to get to school.
Yeah.
You roll out of bed, brush your teeth, and then sit down, and that's it. Like suddenly all that time, and it's funny how all that time that existed before builds up
Yeah,
to
of
make your
course it
life
does.
busy. And then
Yeah.
when those little things are taken away, suddenly your life is filled with more
Well,
time.
that's the other thing that you realise, that there's so many things that you just, if someone had said to you, you need to stop doing this, or you need to make some space in your life, you need to stop doing so many things, you would not have been able to know what to stop. You'd have said, I can't. Everything is important. I can't find anything to stop. And what the pandemic has done is it's kind of forced us to stop everything and realise that we can do without a load of stuff.
And I think that's why I've got this new phrase called the power of saying no. And it's this idea that now, when we've got more excuses, we can just go, oh no, I'm not going to go to that. Whereas before, like there was some sort of, oh well, I've got to get there, and I've got to travel to there. Whereas now we can just be like, no.
That works for some things.
Yes.
So if you, when we're going back to school, and they say, come back to school, don't use the Charles Merritt power of saying no, at that point.
No.
That is not an appropriate use of the power of saying no. But a more appropriate would be,
Well, like football for me, because I was always going to football before COVID.
yeah, you're always at the
I
football,
just
weren't you?
couldn't say no to when someone was like, oh, do you want to kick a ball in the park?
no.
Whereas now it's like, no, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah, but like there's got to be an opportunity out of this to learn to say no a bit more, and to learn to say, do you know what, I'm at my max. I'm at the sort of limit of what I need to do in order to have a kind of healthy life. I'm not going to do all the other things on top as well.
Yeah, and it's like what you were saying about your nights, like actually saying no to something. So it's like, actually, I want a free night. I want some time by myself, or time at home with my family, like without feeling like, oh, I've got to go, because otherwise my friends would be like, oh, you loser, why aren't you coming out tonight? And the rest of it. So the question to you is, how has lockdown forced you to slow down?
Your life.
Okay, so how has lockdown forced you to slow down? Because it's forced, isn't it? It wasn't a choice, it just happened. Charles, how did it force you?
Ooh, it forced me because I'd suddenly, like, groups and stuff that I'd have in the evenings weren't happening, or I think I said, like, just not even being that, just the commute to places. So going to life group or whatever, I didn't have to drive there. I just could turn on my laptop. And so so although I'm used to like rushing everything, I didn't need to rush because I just had to literally turn on my laptop and that was it. So so it's definitely shaved off time from stuff. So been a lot slower.
Someone's just said in the chat here that they've been extremely bored. I don't know, we've talked about that particularly.
No, that's a good point.
But, for some of us, life has been incredibly boring over the course of the last year at different times. Particularly, you've been locked in a conversation with me for any amount of time. But I think actually that's a real thing, isn't it? Like having to learn to be bored in a world where boredom's sort of not a thing we have to encounter very much because we're all so busy.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Someone said that it's taken away their ability to travel. I know a lot of people were looking forward to going on holidays and stuff last year, and that got completely cancelled. And someone else has said it gave me an opportunity to really study. So because I suddenly had all this time, I started creating this book with all my notes of every subject. That's incredible use of your time. That's really good
You are
to kind of just
amazing.
make sure that you've got that. Great. Ollie, have we had anyone on the poll.ev?
We have. Sorry. I don't know why I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm happy. Anyway, I'm going to read them now. I realized I was taking things for granted, so I took a break from those things that took over my life, like social media and different things. And we had another one that said, things feel just as busy, but just online now. It's funny how life fills the space left free by other things. The end.
That's such a good point, because it does. You can always fill your time with stuff. Always.
I think there's some quite wise answers on here. Somebody hilariously said, "I speak enough that everyone would always be bored," but somebody very honestly said, "I felt I haven't initiated things." I think that's quite an interesting thing. Like in this time when there's been very limited amounts that we can do, it can sometimes be quite easy to sort of retreat into yourself a little bit. And even though there are like a limited number of ways that we can interact with each other through Zoom, through going for a walk, all those sorts of things, sometimes it's actually quite hard to initiate things, isn't it? And actually get things going. Do you identify with that?
Yeah.
It becomes your choice, doesn't it? You have to choose to click on a link rather than you're just there because you're at school, so you see people. It comes up to you.
Yeah. That's someone else has just actually mentioned that, Hannah. Someone said, lockdowns forced me to slow down and really get to know my friends properly and appreciate them, as sometimes we take them for granted as we used to see them so often. But yeah, and we're actually going to look at relationships in a few weeks' time. But that's a really good point. Like, we don't see people every day at school or wherever we normally see them. And so actually, we've had to initiate stuff or not, as the case may be. And maybe we've chosen to just let friendships and relationships stop. Someone else has just put, before we move on, I think when you're forced to slow down and your options of what you can do is so limited, you have to reprioritize and place more importance on the little things you used to forget, which I think is
That's beautiful.
Really beautiful. And someone just said below that as well, you begin to realize the important people in your life. So that has been one of the good things maybe to come out of this. We will, as you say, we'll talk about this in another episode, but you have started to sort of think, oh gosh, these people really matter to me. Got great answers, guys. After our incredibly slow start, you have once again saved the day. Shall we go into our final segment?
yes. Let's.
What this all makes me think about is the idea of simplicity, the idea of uncomplicating our lives a little bit. So there's actually a sort of ancient Christian tradition of simplicity. It's most famously practiced by monks who get rid of everything they don't absolutely need, and they just live in very simple ways, simple food and drink, maybe even, and this is not an exaggeration, sleeping on a stone bed in some cases. I'm not suggesting you have to do that, by the way. But I do think there's something to learn from the idea of actually trying to learn the difference between all the stuff that we want to do and have, and all the stuff that we need to do. And what sort of this last year has taught us is a bit of that difference. And so I wonder whether, as we come out of the pandemic, one of the lessons we can start to learn is discerning a bit more of the difference between what we need to spend our time doing and all the other stuff that we kind of want to. Because you can only have so much of that, otherwise your life just gets too full.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that is the lesson I've learned, is that I think we have a tendency to rush around and busy ourselves in order to make our lives happen. And actually, we don't need to do that when God is at the center of our lives. There's an amazing Bible verse, and I'm just going to look down at my notes to remind me what it is. But it's Matthew 6, verse 30, let's say 31 to 34. And it says this, don't worry and say, what will we eat, or what will we drink, or what will we wear? That's what those people who don't know God are always thinking about. Don't worry, because your Father in heaven knows that you need all these things. What you should want most is God's kingdom and doing what he wants you to do. Then he will give you all these other things you need. So don't worry about tomorrow. Each day has enough trouble of its own. Tomorrow will have its own worries.
That's great.
And I think that sums up the sort of Bible lesson that I've learned over this lockdown.
Yeah.
In terms of, just understanding that is the way, as you were saying, the simplicity thing of not worrying about, going off and doing this thing or doing that thing or trying to have that or trying to build towards something here. Yeah. It's a cliche Christian thing, I'm going to say it. I'm really sorry. Let go, let God. There you go. I think that's kind of where we're at, and
Yeah.
I think that's what we've learned through this lockdown. Hopefully, that's what you've learned, or what you could be learning, is that we need to slow down and not worry so much about filling our lives with lots of stuff. When we've got God at the center, He brings us plenty.
Yeah, and it is natural, isn't it, to worry about things and to think, oh gosh, am I doing enough? Have I got enough? That is kind of like, as human beings, that's what we naturally tend to do. Hopefully that verse and this time reminds us just to try to get a bit of balance and our priorities in order. Have we got a final question?
We have got a final question, and this final question is, what can you give over to God from your worry list? The stuff that you are desperately trying and getting to want, and the complicated stuff. What can you just hand over to Him and ask Him to be with you in that situation?
You're live if you didn't. What?
Oh, sorry.
Why is no one talking?
I thought Hannah was going to take that.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Shall I take it? No.
Yeah, Ollie, you go
no,
for it.
I don't
Ollie,
know
you
what
take
I'm
it,
going
go
to
for
say.
it.
What was the question? How are things with you, Martin?
I would say we've not absolutely hit top gear yet.
No.
We've not quite reached our former heights.
Yeah, this is a pilot week.
This is a pilot week.
It's
Yeah.
a good job this isn't live.
Yeah.
What are the things that you can remove from the worry list? So obviously our life is so full, and we can get stressed out about the stuff that we need to do, that we feel like we need to do, but actually really it's about the stuff that we want to do. But when we put God at the center of our lives, we don't need to do all those sorts of things. God gives us what we need. So what are the things that you can kind of take the burden off yourself as we move out of lockdown? Someone said being late.
Ooh.
Now, yeah, maybe that's a good point. Like not putting so much pressure on yourself to be on time, like trying to be on time, but not worrying if you are late. Don't aim to be late. Sorry, this is from someone who really punctuality is really important to. So
Yeah.
I'm not the best person to talk to about this. Someone else be really comforting towards Lila.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense because you can aim for something without having to worry about it. It's the worry that's bad. We can have all good intentions, but if we start to stress about it, that's when it becomes not so fabulous. So not having to worry about being late is perfect.
I would love to know some honest answers, by the way, to this question. How many people have been late to a live lesson when they've literally had to get only from their bed, to their laptop, and rather than all the commuting and stuff? How many of you have actually not quite managed to make it on time? I bet it's quite a few of you.
I did a job interview in my bed in my pajamas, and it
What?
was a very high moment and a very low moment at the same time.
You get the job?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, well, there you go.
What a lesson to teach the young people. Someone's messaged and said, I think exams and revision, because I've learned that although they are important things, things such
as family and close friends
have higher priority. Someone else has also put, I'm never late for school as I get up 2 hours before school.
Oh, wow.
I mean, yeah.
That's to do your 100 sit-ups, presumably.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. Someone's put deaf. It just therefore means that you don't have to worry about the possibility of a future, and you can just try. There's no worry of the end of things. So not getting so stressed about dying, I guess, and not worrying about it, which is good. Lots of people have been late to school.
Yes. I'm late to work all the time. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And any more answers on the poll ev.com
Yes, yeah, I got
thing?
one person saying COVID-19. There's no point in worrying too much about it. You just need to do your bit and stick to the rules. So yeah, and we've just had one in that says technical issues. These things happen. I thank you for your understanding.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, you don't. I mean, it's not a TV show, is it? I mean, we do this on a limited budget. It would be fair to say.
Yeah.
I mean, this
So,
literally is just our youth group, right?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we hope that's been fun. We're going to do some more of those. We're going to be talking about some of the other things that we may have learned, or with the things we might want to learn from after lockdown and after COVID. Like, is it possible now to start saying after COVID-19 or after a sort of pandemic dominated world? So we'll have another one of those next week. But we want to change gear slightly now. And we're going to have another Kahoot-based activity. Who's excited? Thanks. I mean, you could have made a noise as well.
Sorry. Yeah. Woo.
Great, thanks. So do you remember when we first did Satellites Live, and it was much less slick than this? We we did something called Rank Your Thanks. Do you remember the theme song, Charles?
Yes, I do.
Go on, what was it?
It was puppy dogs and rainbows, flowers too. These are the things which make me say thank you. Don't be hateful, just be grateful. It's time to rank your thanks. Do you want the bridge bit as well?
Yes.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Oh.
Absolutely fine. So well done. So we've brought it back in a sense, but we've got a new segment which is called "What Are You Waiting For?" And we're going to be having a bit of a debate between some of the things that we're looking forward to as we come out of lockdown, as we come out of this time of being, very much in the depths of pandemic. And we're going to talk about what are the things we're most looking forward to as we come back. So we're going to have some votes. I'm scared that we might try, pit some things against each other that are going to cause big rifts within families again. But the code, if you would like to join in, is 2741708. Who have we got? Any interesting names popping up, Ollie?
Well, we've got Tech Meltdown, which is a great name. We have Diva Mary. I love these names. It's great. Made it in the end. What? Sorry, Hannah.
Charles has got 2 whole fans.
2 fans.
He does.
Yeah.
His mum and his dad. So,
Yeah.
And Diva Martin has returned. Diva Martin has returned. Yeah, well, it's very exciting to see.
We've got Woo. I'm hoping in a minute we're going to see the return of Big Fat Pig, or something similar.
Yeah.
Good. I'm staggered by how many people have stayed with this first week. It's really quite encouraging. You are a good bunch.
Yeah.
Some people have left immediately as I said that, as if they'd taken offence. Odegaard. That's a very niche footballer. Someone's misspelt Paul Colt, I see. And what's happened there? Big Fat Pig nose.
Wow.
Sorry, I'm more excited about Big Charles's fan 3.
His
Sorry,
mum, his dad, and his sister.
And hang on, look at this. Mrs. Saunders has come on. Martin's handsome. Look at that.
Oh.
Well, I think now we're ready to start. So this is called What Are You Waiting For? And you've got 4, I like that one, to check for president. There are 4 rounds this week, and basically we're going to pit them against each other. So this is like a quarterfinal, I think. And gosh, there's 2 more fans for Charles. What's going on?
This is,
We're going to pit them against each other, and then we're going to have a little debate about it, and then you can have a vote. So you can vote whenever you like, or you might like to listen to the arguments for and against. So here's the first of our 4 trade-offs. Number 1, what are you looking forward to more out of these 2? Which are you most looking forward to? Gyms reopening or swimming pools reopening? I'm going to go straight to Jim Bunny, Charles Merritt.
I've never been to a gym. Okay, I will say that swimming pools only if it's got water slides.
Oh.
We all know my love of water slides, so yeah. Swimming pool.
What would you have said, Hannah? We've had the results, but what would you have said?
Yeah, swimming pools.
Yeah. So I think if you are, because there'll be a lot of people now. I can picture at least one person who is now shaking their muscular arms at the screen, because if you care about the gym, you really care about the gym, don't you?
Yeah.
So I feel like those people are very upset. But unfortunately, gyms have gone out. So was in our quest to find out what is the thing that people are most looking forward to, swimming pools goes through into the next round.
Wow.
Let's have the next question.
Let's have a look.
Does this make sense? Does everyone understand
Yes.
what we're doing here? Which of these are you most looking forward to? Going back to school or sport restarting? Charles.
Yeah, I knew you were going to go to me. And here's the hilarious joke. Oh, are you excited to go to school, Charles? What year are you starting? Year 3? Is this where we're going with this segment, is it?
I mean, I could have gone either way. Have you ever
be
taken
honest,
part in any
sport-
sports?
I just realized that was the alternative. Yeah, let's just go back to school. Let's 100% go back to school.
Yeah.
What do you think, Hannah?
Cool. People.
School people. Yeah. I mean, there are people involved in sport. That's sort of quite important.
Yes, but you have to run.
Unless it's Robot Wars.
It depends if tap dancing, does that count as sport?
Tap dancing.
Oh,
Tap
gosh.
dancing.
Look, you've got 2 tap dances now. Martin,
Yeah.
you're outnumbered.
Wow.
You tap dance. You
Yeah.
Maybe we could finish this season with a routine.
Oh gosh.
Right, let's. I think someone's given up, so let's skip through and see what the result is on this. Ooh. Well, I'm not sure I would have called that. What do you think, Ollie? Are you surprised by that result?
Wow. No, do you know what? I'm not, because I miss school, and I don't even go to school. So I just,
Well, we did see that clip of how much you enjoyed school as
oh,
well.
I did. My hand thoroughly enjoyed school as well.
Yeah.
So, but I do like sports. So it was a hard one, but it's a good answer.
All right. So I think there's a little subsection now of people who they lost on the gym and they lost on sport restarting, feeling a bit cross about how this is going. So let's see quickly what the next option is. Which of these are you most looking forward to? Not wearing a mask or not having to stay a certain distance apart? Ooh, that's an interesting one. Hannah.
close to people, like hugging people, like just being next to people. I miss people, like just.
Yeah. Unpopular opinion, but I love my mask. So
You can yawn. You can look disappointed. It's fine. It covers you. I
You
quite
know?
like it.
I like the fact that I haven't had a cold this year because I've worn a mask. So I'm pretty fan. But then equally, not always the biggest fan of someone giving me a hug. So
wow.
You go a bit limp, don't you, when someone tries to give you a hug?
it's yeah. If it
Like one of those, you're a bit like, when have you ever seen those little wooden toys that you can push your thumb into the bottom and they go
Oh yeah,
like that?
They flop over.
That's what happens if you
That is Charles.
if you give Charles a hug.
Charles
Yeah.
was doing social distancing before it was trendy. So
That's very good.
thank you.
All right. Well, either a couple of people have.
Oh, sorry. It's
really
me who's given
stuck.
up. I've done it
Oh,
so
okay.
there's like a pause, so then there's dramatic reveal.
Ah, okay.
you know,
All right.
so-
Well, let's see what the answer is.
Oh, yes.
yeah. I mean that's basically what we just said, didn't we?
Yeah.
So people are quite happy to carry on wearing a mask if they're allowed to get close to each other.
Yep.
Very good. All right, final one for this week. So those are through to the next round, and we'll see those again in a couple of weeks. But what's the final round?
Let's have a look.
Which of these are you most looking forward to? Okay, so holidays or going out to restaurants? What do you think, guys? Which of those are you more excited about?
Restaurants.
Yeah.
Oh,
Me and my friends have a habit of going to restaurants and just ordering desserts. So just for that, it will change your life.
Why
Going
have
to a
I never thought about that? That's
Ollie,
the
we
thing.
have gone to a restaurant and just ordered a milkshake before because we got too scared.
We got nervous to leave. It was like a tiny little thing, and we didn't like the menu, and then we were stuck in the corner, and so we just ordered a load of expensive stuff.
I'll tell you about a prank that was played on me in a restaurant once. Somebody from our office knew that I was in a Weatherspoons, which is a sort of pub restaurant, and I mean maybe I've upgraded it a bit by calling it a restaurant, a pub where you get food, and basically you can order through the app, and they found out what their table number was that I was at, and then they just started sending random bits of food to my table, like a plate of peas, just a side order of peas that just appeared, and some breakfast cereal and other things. So, you know, if you're bored, once restaurants reopen, why not just pick a random Weatherspoons on a busy evening and send people peas? Let's see what people are most looking forward to.
Let's have a look. Wow.
Ah,
Holidays.
wow, yeah. That does feel a bit more like a thing you haven't really been able to do for longer, doesn't it? I suppose.
Yeah.
I feel you
So there
might
we go.
also go to a restaurant on holiday.
You could go to a restaurant on holiday. Good work around, Ollie.
Yeah,
That's brilliant.
sorry.
Okay.
You know.
No, good thinking. Good thinking. So that's it for the first week of What Are You Waiting For? Well done. We shall take those 4 through to the next round. What were the winners? Can anyone remember what the winners are? I've completely forgotten. So holidays, that was easy because that was on the screen.
School.
Swimming pools.
Yeah.
Not socially distancing and
school.
school.
Perfect. Well done, guys. We got there in the end. So that was fun. We probably need to take a view on this. Have we got time to show the ridiculous game? Or, I mean, we're going to run over if we do that.
Yeah, I was going to put it on Instagram as like an Instagram
Good
sort of
idea.
exclusive.
That's a great idea.
That is-
I'll put it
All
up
right.
tomorrow evening if someone reminds me.
So just to explain, Charles and I have filmed a series of hilarious, a series of challenges where we compete for pride, if nothing else. And you get to guess who you think is won. But what we'll do is we'll stick it on the Instagram tomorrow, and you can have a reason to follow us on Instagram. It's St. Mary's _satellites. Great. Well, look, somehow we've staggered to the end of another edition of Satellites Live, the show they tried to ban and tried to boot off YouTube and various other platforms. But here we are, still here. Hannah, would you mind, as we finish, thank you for joining us. Please come back next week. Would you mind praying for us all as we go into another week?
God, I thank you for everyone who's watching, everyone who's here, everyone who's part of our lovely, lovely church family and Satellites family. I pray for the week that they've got coming up, that they will enjoy it, that they will see joy in it, that they will see you in it, and that they will feel you with them as they go about whatever they've got coming up. I thank you for everyone who joined us tonight. I thank you that we're still able to kind of meet together-ish in a way. And I thank you that someday soon we will be able to be together again. Yes, bless our weeks. Amen.
Amen. Thanks, everyone. See you next time.